Hi, my name is Gina Avanzado. In August of 2020, I was looking for a job on Missouri State employment opportunities. I came across a nannying position for an 11-month-old baby named Logan. I emailed his mother, who had posted the position, and we came in touch. I went to meet with her at their house to meet Logan, to see if we were right fits for each other. We talked about my experience in childcare, the days that I would nanny, the hourly wage that she was offering, and the responsibilities I would have while I was there. We talked about the precautions she trusted I was going to take due to COVID-19 by practicing social distancing outside of the job. Lastly, we talked about his development and how I would be supporting and helping in that as well. I would be helping his cognitive development, fine and gross motor development, as well as his social and emotional development. I started my nannying position in September of 2020, and I adjusted to nannying pretty well. I had nannied before, but never super often for a child so young, so I was a little nervous at first. I started nannying every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and when I first started, he was crawling, so his activities were a little bit more limited, as well as limited due to COVID-19. He had a walker, so I would stand him up on there and he would walk around the house. I took him on many walks in his stroller around their neighborhood. I pointed to certain things on our walks, such as animals, cars, houses, and other people walking, so I could help his language development. And some days I would push him outside on his swing. I read him many books. I would point to certain things on the book pages, just as I did on our walks, to also help with his language development, even though he wasn't saying many words yet. I think the only words he was really saying was dada and dog. When I first started, he was taking bottles of formula, 2 to 3 bottles per day, one before nap time, one during lunch, and one at the end of the day. He was also mostly eating baby food and taking 2 naps around this time. Both of them were around 1 to 1.5 hours. As he started getting older, a lot of things changed. He started taking 1 nap per day. They're about 3 hours now. He started eating more solid foods, and then he started to walk shortly after he turned 1. First, it was a few steps around the house, and now he's walking so much and I have to chase him around. When we go on walks, instead of putting him on a stroller, I let him walk on his own. His mom has now allowed me to take him around Springfield to places that he's really enjoyed so far. We've gone to a few parks. I took him to Wonders of Wildlife one time, and we have also gone to the library. At the park, he will run around the playground and go on the slides. He plays with the pretend steering wheel, and what I have noticed most at places is that he's very friendly and he's always smiling and waving at other people. And I think this is awesome because I know since COVID-19 he hasn't had much interaction with other people and other kids. But when we're around other people in public, he is not shy at all. His temperament is very happy and outgoing. And even the first day I met Logan, he was smiling ear to ear, so that was super nice. So his mom is transitioning him to a preschool in August, and I think he'll really adjust to the social setting. At Wonders of Wildlife, he is so well behaved and in complete awe of all the animals there. He points to them and says, "Wow," or "Whoa," and he stares at them. When we were passing the brown bears when we were there, he said, "Roar." Other words that he says is shoes, caca, which is car, papa, bubble, bye-bye, book, and others. I was talking to his mom yesterday, and she was comparing him to her firstborn, Jack. She said that Logan was where he needed to be development-wise, but Jack exceeded when he was Logan's age, which is about 19 months now. And she said, I can help this by reading more books and taking more frequent trips to the library and doing, like I said earlier, just pointing to certain things in public and making sure that his language is developing through that. Other things that we do at their house is we color with colored pencils and crayons. We build with blocks. Both of these help a lot with his fine motor skills and fine motor development. I create sensory bins that include water activities. I'll put ice, soap, and different toys in containers, and he fills it with water. We go outside almost every time that I'm there, and I let him roam around the backyard where he plays with toys, discovers plants, and he likes to pick flowers and grass off the ground. He likes to kick soccer balls, pet their neighborhood cat, and mostly likes to just run around, and I can let him get all his energy out for the day. I'm starting to nanny full time for Logan starting in May, so we'll spend a lot more time together and we'll be able to get out of the house more and go to more places. I've gotten to know Logan very well and his family, and it has been such a joy to watch him grow and develop. He is growing up in such a very loving home and has two wonderful parents and a helpful big brother. I find myself very lucky to be nannying for this family so I can get the opportunity to further my education and further my understanding of child development as a CFD major. To anyone who wants to work with children like I do, I would advise you to be patient. Not every day is easy. Some children will really cry and it will be extremely frustrating, but I promise they're not taking it out on you. I would also advise those who wants to work with children to be creative. There are so many ways that children learn and grow through all kinds of activities, and if you aren't a creative person, then there are so many ideas and activities on the internet that help and that have helped me as well. A last piece of advice that I would give is to simply be loving to children. All they want to be is be loved, and I think that their personal well-being comes before any academic learning. Kids need to be cared for, and more importantly, know that they are cared for and can count on adults to really be there for them. Thank you for watching.